Good morning. Happy Friday. It is March 22nd, 2024, and I'm finally back to doing these videos. I skipped the last 2 weeks due to other stuff going on and other releases that I wanted to focus on. But today is an amazing release day. Like, super amazing. There's so much stuff that is coming out today. I'm not touching all of them today. You can find everything that's been released. I'm just calling out several albums that I know I'm going to be listening to that I was looking forward to coming out today. That's what this series is, just to put some stuff on your radar. But for the most part, I don't touch on everything. It's just, I think there was like 30 different releases that came out today. And out of those 30, I jerry picked a couple, like 5 or 6. But there's probably about 10 that I'm going to be checking out for sure. But in time, usually throughout all next week, this is what I do. I go and I check out these things that I've never heard of, and I always find something I like. So let's go ahead and get started. So the first release today that I wanted to talk about is the new Hideous Divinity album, Unextinct. It is the 5th full-length album from this Italian death metal band out on Century Media. Hideous Divinity is a very good band, and if you're not familiar with this band, you should definitely check them out. I just realized my notes are closed, so that's annoying. But if you're not familiar, their last album came out in 2019, so it's been a little bit now. Simulacrum, I can never say that album name, was a very good album. I was a huge fan of that. This band is an awesome band. They've been pretty supportive of this channel. They've shouted me out a couple of times and been very, very cordial. So I'm excited about this album. I have not heard anything from it yet, but I will be listening to this a lot, I'm sure, because I was a huge fan of their last release. So if you're not a fan of, or if you don't know Hideous Divinity, check them out. Definitely worth doing. Very good death metal, and they incorporate a little bit of technicality too. So it's not just a straightforward meat and potatoes death metal. It's got that technical, brutal death metal style to it as well, which is another reason why I really, really like this band. So check this out. Like I said, it's on Century Media, so that's the first release I wanted to talk about today. The second release is something that you probably would not expect for me to talk about, but it is a power metal band out of Germany, of course, called Hammer King, with König und Kaiser, I think is how you say that album name. It is their 6th full-length album out on Napalm Records. Now, I had no intentions of talking about this band, but here's what happened, because power metal is really not my thing whatsoever. But there's a little bit of traditional heavy metal in here that it piqued my interest. But I was listening to, I'm pretty sure it might have just been a random demo or something on YouTube. One day I'm sitting here, I was working, I was sending out resumes and all this stuff, and YouTube autoplays things after a video is completed, and it autoplayed a Hammer King song for their new album that just came out today. And I was like, I kind of like this. It's got a little bit of a gritty feel to it. It's not as clean and polished as a lot of German power metal. It's got a little bit more of that, old school grit vibe. And I liked the first 3 songs that I heard. I'm going to definitely check out this album. Like I said, power metal, not my thing. But every once in a while, something piques my interest and gets me engaged. So this is one of those bands. So don't know much else about them. I've never listened to anything else from them. But again, it's their 6th full-length record out on Napalm Records. The next album. Now listen here, motherfuckers. This is an album that kind of took me back. This is the one that these next 3 albums I'm talking about, I've been listening to them because I've had the promos for them. But I will be listening to them a lot. I've ordered all of them, so I've pre-ordered all of them, and they're starting to ship, so you're going to see them on the channel. But this next one, I absolutely adore, and I've been listening to it for about a week and a half now, and I just have every single listen through, I fall in love with it more and more and more. I'm not saying album of the year, but it's a really fucking good album, motherfuckers. So listen here. Brodequin, Harbinger of War, is out today. If you do not know this band, get familiar with them. Brutal death metal of the absolute S tier value here. This is their 3rd full-length album, but their first album in 20 motherfucking years. So they've gone on some hiatus here, and now they're back, and they released what I am considering a gem of a brutal death metal record. Now, I've listened to it probably about 6 or 7 times in the last week and a half. I finally got around to checking out the promo after hearing the several singles that came out and really, really enjoying it. And just been absolutely blown away. So I have the CD and the vinyl on pre-order because that's how I was back when I was buying shit. They are both out for delivery. There's definitely going to be a video talking about this. I'm going to do a full review on this album on this channel. But this is out on Season of Mist, Underground Activities, which I was shocked to see an amazing brutal death metal album on Season of Mist. And it's so good. So their first release, Instruments of Torture, came out in 2000. And I was a huge fan of that album. And I still listen to it all the time. I mean, that was like peak. Melanie is really into brutal death metal and getting into it. Their second full length, I can't remember it because I wasn't a huge fan of it, was like 2004. And then they go 20 years. Like, Jesus Christ. This album is very good. If you're a brutal death metal fan, you'll enjoy it. It's definitely got the modern feel to it. And I have said several times in the last couple of days that it's going to be impossible for me to get this off the platter. I'm not selling the record. I'm going to keep it because I need to get that full experience of it on vinyl. Anyway, I'm done talking about this. So yeah, Brodequin, Harbinger of War. Check it out. The next release is another one. Goddamn, $20 spin. What are you doing this year, man? You have just been incredible, just slaughtering the releases. We had Holder, we had Slime Lord, we have Civerous, which I'm talking about now. We have, I know I'm forgetting several. Terminal Nation was just announced. We've got, Witch Vomit. Like, damn, all these awesome bands are coming out this year. So Civerous, Maze Envy is out today. US death metal band. Definitely got the blackened style to it here and there. Definitely a little bit doomy too as well. Their second full length called Maze Envy. I already said that, Jesus Christ. $20 spin, and my God, this band has been a favorite band of mine for a while now. I have talked about them a lot on this channel. I hunted their demos and their compilation at the very, very early stages of my channel, showed off all of their tapes. They have a live promo that came out in 2021 on Transylvania Recordings that was simply a chef's kiss. It was such a good promo. I was such a huge fan of that. And then they also came out with these demos. And then their first full length was in 2021. Decrepit Flesh Relic, which was a spectacular album. That was also out on Transylvania Recordings. The band has been a huge fan of mine. They've been huge supporters. They've sent me stuff. They sent me their last album. I had a whole video on it. So yeah, Maze Envy is out today. And I've had the promo. I chose not to listen to it until yesterday. I wanted to kind of try and save that lore and that lust of getting the release on release day and listening to it, which my tape is out for delivery today, but it is not here as I'm recording it. So I finally just broke down and listened to the full stream yesterday on $20 Spins page, and just they did it again. This band is so good. So if you're looking for a new death metal band that's just very heavy, very dissonant, very crushing, check out Civerous. You will not be disappointed. I'm telling you guys. I love these guys. Been a huge fan of them for ever since I found them back in 2019 when they first released their first demo. And just, yes, get to know them. Another fantastic release today. And then finally, another release. I am going to be doing a heavy metallurgy review for this, so I am not going to talk too much about it today, but I've been listening to the promo of this as well. And that is the new Apparition album, Disgrace Emanations from a Tranquil State. I'm pretty sure I said that correct. This is out on Profound Lore. It is their second full-length album, a band out of the US. Death metal. Very, very good death metal. They released an album called Feel in 2021. Was a massive fan of that album. It kind of came out of nowhere, kind of crept up on you, and just, yeah, huge fan. And then now they've got their second full length out today, and it's good. It's good. So we'll get to that on the heavy metallurgy review. So that is all that I wanted to talk about today. Again, check out Hideous Divinity, Hammer King, Brodequin, Civerous, and Apparition. Like I said, there's so many things that came out today. I know I'm missing. There was a big black metal release today. Swedish black metal, I think. Starts with a D. I'm blanking on the name of the band. People have been raving about it. So going to be checking that out too. But like I said, I can't get to everything. There's just so much. And as always, I will link in the description a Twitter that I follow called K-Man Riffs. That is going to show everything that was released today. He goes into full detail, shows you all the band camps, where to listen to it and all that stuff. He does the Lord's or the Devil's work, whichever you prefer. Just amazing work in the scene. A shout out to him. And that's all that I have today. I hope you guys have a great weekend. Tomorrow, the Brodequin video is coming. I'm so excited to shoot it again. Fuck, that album is so good. All right, I'm out. See you guys in the next one.